The multicultural hub bringing African arts to the French capital, luminous portraits of blackness from Eniwaye, Oluwaseyi and Angelique Kidjo shines in Tinseltown. That's all coming up in today's show. But we're starting off with a new cultural centre here in Paris, Monsa, the House of African Cultures, which embraces Afro-descendant and diaspora art and artists. Well, to tell us more about the project and its new publication, I'm joined by editor Sebastien Thème. Thank you so much for being here, Sebastien.
Thank you for the invite.
Well, before we talk about the magazine you're directing, tell us about MansA, this very multifaceted project. What does the space represent?
The space represents a house, the house that we built, probably, I don't know, a house in Paris, a house where young person, the new generation can get together, can talk about where they came from, and I think it's also probably, and I will say it, this is the coolest place in Paris. You can see in the picture. You came to the launch of the magazine. This is really the coolest place in Paris. So this is great.
Yeah, and it mixes a lot of different cultures as well, a lot of different backgrounds.
Yes, backgrounds. We listen to music, we watch movies, we talk about our history, and this history that hasn't been told, probably not told the right way. So this is the possibility for everyone and anyone to discover, to talk, to get together.
And like you say, it's very forward-looking. MansA's now expanding its mission onto glossy paper with a biannual magazine in French and English. In the first edition, there's an article about Relooted, the Afro-futurist video game that deals with returning artworks to the countries they were taken from, often during colonial times. Here in France, the legislation to facilitate the return of treasures from countries like Benin, Mali, Algeria, Senegal has been debated in Parliament this week. They've not yet found consensus on it. How do you see France's position on this?
I think this is a great question. Thank you for that question. Obviously, this is a question that has been tried to find an answer. I don't know if you heard about the movie of Mati Diop Dahomey, the documentary where you follow an artifact from Paris that goes back to Benin, I think.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the first form of art about this story, and we talk about Relooted, that video game created by Eniwaye, who's a Johannesburg-based studio. And so the idea of Relooted is that I think 90% of art from sub-Sahara countries are in European institution. So this is the only answer that we found is that video game, and it's a great question. We'll see how it goes, but it's important to ask this question. I think this is really complicated. I think we should always have the privilege, the right to face our history. And this is the only way, I think.
Well, indeed, looking ahead to contemporary art from historical art, we've been checking out the latest exhibition from Nigerian artist Eniwaye Oluwaseyi. This show in Paris is entitled Buried Roots Up in the Air. It's a reference to the ideas of belonging and shared identity that stretch far and wide in the diaspora. Aurore Dupuis went to find out more.
My name is Eniwaye Oluwaseyi. I'm a visual artist. I explore the themes of memory, of imagination, home, and history.
Time plays tricks on memory, and that's what inspires Eniwaye Oluwaseyi. His oil paintings represent his family, their home, Nigeria, and a new life in Europe.
It's a painting about my sister and myself, because she now lives in London, I live in Amsterdam. It's creating these two worlds, you know. One represents a different time, where the other figure is sitting represents a different time, and we, the viewer, represents a different time. So I'm collapsing 3 different times into one to make almost a giant new world.
A reimagined new world built from personal photos and memories. Children's writing on walls. Dripping objects and clothes. In his work, the past blends into the present. Modern interiors host mid-20th century portraits with strict lines and bold colours, a signature of the self-taught artist who once studied engineering.
With math, you need to be absolute. Your calculation has to be, as expected. But with painting, it's about expressing yourself, where you see all these things, the drippings, it sort of shows freedom. So in a way, I found ways to find a balance between an engineer and having freedom of being an artist.
Eniwaye met Audrey 8 years ago at the Lagos Art Fair, right at the start of his career.
These little candles and the brushes.
Yes.
For Audrey, his work stands out as it reflects society as a whole.
It's African, but at the same time it's European. It's actually pretty neutral. It could be a landscape from Brussels, Amsterdam, areas of Paris. And that's something he wants. We can all see each other, projected in this dual culture. In the world we live in today, people move around a lot, and I think it's a universal language.
Eniwaye's paintings are now known worldwide, from Africa to the US, Asia and Europe, with a Royal Award for Modern Painting from the Netherlands King at just 32 years old.
Sebastien, there's a history of black artists from all over the world meeting in Paris, exchanging ideas. We saw some of that history in the Paris Noir exhibition at the Pompidou Centre last year. That show was mainly focused on the 20th century. Do you think Paris still has that role in the 21st century?
I love that question. Of course. First of all, you're going to find a lot of them in the magazine, of course. We can talk about a lot of our contributors, photographers, writers, artists, philosophers. But yes, this is a great question. I'm actually working on a series of documentaries about that, about the new Paris Noir today, what the Paris Noir is today. What artist? Probably we can talk about Guillaume Diop, who is the dancer.
Star.
Yes, probably Guillaume Diop is one of the latest Paris Noirs artists, I think.
Yeah, he's the male soloist at the Paris Opera Ballet.
The first
it's a
one.
huge role.
Huge.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of étoiles after him. So yes, that's a great idea.
So Sebastien, you made a fascinating radio documentary about activist and academic Angela Davis, someone who was born in the segregated South of the United States, and then she went on to play a fundamental role in the fights for social justice in the 1960s to the present day. But, she is more than 80 years old now. When you look at the socio-political fights we're facing today, who do you think are the inspiring figures who could be her successors?
I think we need philosophers, we need artists, we need someone who can embrace all of this. And I think about someone that I love. She's called Amandine Gay. She's a filmmaker, an artist. She wrote this amazing and beautiful book that came out last September that was called Vivre libre, to live free. And the word freedom is the word of Angela Davis. She probably screamed it, yelled it, laughed it so many times. So yes, freedom and Amandine Gay. Vive Amandine Gay.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Well, we'll wrap up the show with some music from Angélique Kidjo. The musical maestra is now the first African singer to see her name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, as she was presented with one of those all-important stars. The Beninese superstar, known for her humanitarian work as well as her chart-topping music, is releasing a new album called Hope. We'll leave you with one of the tracks from that record, Are You Coming Back, with Ira Star. Take a look and see you next time here on Arts 24.
My body now, Egovina, fire killer, pretty like Sabina. Are you coming back or what? Are you coming back or what?